Well, guys, welcome back to another episode. This time we are going to be talking about, of course, the most controversial term, chase piece. Welcome back, guys, to another episode. If you're new to the channel, I definitely appreciate you clicking on this episode. If you like what you see and you start watching through, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you can stay tuned for all of our future episodes. All right, guys, chase pieces, they are a heavy topic in the diecast community, whether you're a 1/64 scale collector or even larger. You got 143s, 118s, even the 124s. We all have seen the chases out there. Now, why do companies do that? We all know of the premium brands like M2, Greenlight, Johnny Lightning, Auto World. They all have their own chase pieces, and they let you know the quantity as well as what percentage of their production is actually a chase piece. Whereas when it comes to Hot Wheels, it is not as accurate as it used to be. Now, I do have to say, when it comes to M2, they really want the collector to know their brand. Before, they used to have this really simple sticker that identifies how many pieces there are. This one's a 500 piece chase. But as they started to learn that collectors and even non-collectors were just beelining looking for this sticker, they decided to change things up on a lot of collectors and resellers by completely removing this and going this route where there is no sticker. You have to know the car, you have to know the chase, and of course there are identifying factors such as these 124s. You have a mirror base, gold trim, you do have some other colors coming out depending on which release it is. Just like this one, you have pink chrome on a mirror base. Then over here on the Foose Mustang, you have a black chrome on a mirror base. So to compare, you do have the regular release on a diamond plate. You see the chrome wheels on it. Now, you can't always rely on that, guys. You have to know the car. There's some certain features and details to some of M2s, like you can tell the interior is blue versus the regular one is gray. There are some subtle hints that can let you know that it is a chase, because there are some times where that car might be put on the wrong base and you might just overlook it, or it's on a mirror base when it's not really a chase. So really pay attention to the details when it comes to M2. But there is other brands like Greenlight where you have multiple styles of chases. You have the green machine, you have the red machine, and Walmart's blue machine. Red machine is a Target chase, but you can see the two comparisons right here. Same car, different wheel color. Now, just like any other premium brand like M2, Greenlight also has large scale chases. M2 has 164 and 124 scale, and Greenlight also has 124 scale, but Auto World has their ultra red chase cars, and you'll occasionally see them with white tires, red wheels, or a red base, or a change of color, but the car will never match the package because the main line is orange, but the ultra red is red. And it just makes it easier when companies do that. Now, why are chases even a thing, and are they even worth anything to us collectors? Now, kick it back into the old world of Hot Wheels. Montreal Diecast talked a lot on this topic, and he did some really good points, but I want to elaborate and give my inputs on them as well. So Hot Wheels had their treasure hunt lineup back in '95. Then they had their treasure hunt and premium style treasure hunt. And then they started dividing it from treasure hunt and super treasure hunt, really letting collectors know the term chase is definitely washed out these days because Hot Wheels doesn't let us know what an actual chase piece is. Back in the day, there were true chase pieces. Now, I don't consider an error being a chase. That is just quality control. Yes, there are variants that could slip by that might make that car a chase for me. Like if there is a Mustang that I know for sure has a different wheel color and they only made a few of them because they slipped through production, that is a car I am personally going to chase down, similar to card variations. I want to track down the card art change because they changed the color on the card itself. And to me, that is my chase piece. Now, it's not an actual chase piece. I think that term gets kind of thrown around these days, especially when it comes to Hot Wheels, because they don't let the collector really know what is a chase. They just make us assume, And then if we ask them, they go ahead and just say, yeah, it's a chase, because they want us to go out there and spend the money and collect and just keep us guessing, just like this Mustang right here. The 1965 2+2 out of the Silver Series. There's a plastic base and a metal base. Now, is it a chase? No, it's not a listed chase, but for me being a variation collector, you best believe that is a chase for me. So I'm still trying to chase one down. Hard to find, in my opinion, because every time I've seen a case drop, they're all plastic bases. That's not the only car that had the same issue. We had the 1967 Camaro, which was listed as a chase, and a lot of people still don't think it is, even though Mattel said so. But at the same time, they're a business. They're going to want to tell you, yep, that's a chase, just so you can go out and hunt for it. The Porsche 914 was the same way. That was an unlisted chase because it wasn't in every package. And to me, it could be a chase or not a chase. If I have one variation, I'm going to want the other one. So in the past few years, there were actual chase pieces. The Pro Stock Camaro, which actually came out of the Pictionary, that one actually had a chase card variation, which had an artwork drawing of the car itself instead of the digital artwork. That was actually a chase card to find. And according to Mike Zarnock, that was a super low production card art for the yellow as well as the green recolor. Now, speculation is that there were so few cards of that release that it was much, much less than any super that's been released in the past few years. Is that true? I can't really tell you that, but that is just what is going around in the hobby itself. Yes, chase pieces have really gained a lot of popularity, a lot of hype, and it's just made hunting that much harder because it gained the interest of people who either collect or resell. And that is the worst mixture you can get, because if you tell someone who doesn't collect that they can make money on some simple few dollar cars, they're going to go out there and pick it up. Now, imagine if companies did not do chase pieces. What would that do if Hot Wheels was the only company to have supers and treasure hunts? Well, I think the other brands would definitely not sell as much because you only have one manufacturer doing the chase piece or making that one special item, something that everyone wants to get their hands on, and it just keeps the focus on one brand. Whereas when the premium lineups start coming out, other new diecast companies start up, they're going to want a taste of that excitement as well. So they're going to create their own chase pieces. Some might be chases, some might be limited production, some might be a high production number. But when it comes to them releasing that, they're going to tell you, yeah, it's a low production model, limited edition. They'll catch us with words like limited run. This one right here is a limited edition 8,000 piece 65. Now, I consider that more rare than the modern day super. Those supers are now in the probably 30,000 instead of the 10,000 that they were pretty much limited to back in the early days of treasure hunts and supers. But when it comes to limited pieces like this, or even down to the convention cars, those are true chase pieces. So when we constantly ask, man, why do so many brands have a chase piece? Everybody has a chase piece. But you got to think, as a business aspect, they need to keep the excitement. They don't want to be boring. If they got rid of their chase piece and there was other brands doing it and everyone was solely focused on, let's say, M2, because that is one of my favorite premium brands. If I was only focused on M2 because I know for sure that Greenlight and Auto World brands have Mustangs but no chases, I might still focus on the M2 aspect of it because I like having that limited quantity or rare aspect of a certain casting in the collection. But like I said earlier in this episode, guys, every brand's going to have their chase. They're going to have their different ways on making it exciting for their brand, and we just have to accept it. Now, yes, we all get tired of, it's a chase piece, it's not a chase piece. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Like, we all debate it, but at the end of the day, it just keeps everything exciting and not boring for us. So just really wanted to make an episode going over chase pieces because, yes, it's a highly talked about topic. And of course, it does affect the hobby in positive ways. Like I mentioned, it makes it just fun, makes your collection unique. And then of course, it hits it in negative ways where we have non-collectors going out, scalping everything, reselling it. Just creates that false limited feeling because we're like, man, I can't find it anywhere, but this guy's selling it for 50 bucks if I pass on it, I'm never going to get it in my collection. I mean, yeah, we run into those scenarios, and that's what really hurts it, because it makes collectors not want to collect anymore. They get out of the hobby, they start to look down on it. But we just have to remember, guys, at the end of the day, they are just toy cars that we love to collect. We just have to keep it fun. We have to keep informing others on what is actually a chase, how to find other ways to be excited about the hobby. Customize your cars, race your cars, open them, do photography. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with these toy cars. That is all we have for this video, guys. I really wanted to just discuss chase pieces since I didn't get to get mine out last week since I had video editing app issues. Now we're on Filmora. It's been working pretty good. I posted my first episode on it, and it's user-friendly. So with that, guys, I have nothing else for you. If you enjoyed this one, give it a huge thumbs up. And of course, comment down below your thoughts, your opinions, your feedback on what I talked about or what I missed. Let me know down in the comments so we can debate it and throw it into the next episode, answering those questions and answers. So with that, guys, until next time, this is the Mustang Hunter. Peace.